Birthday. Birthday app, right? And then we'll just do like parties and presents or parties and kids or sure. Sure. So this app is called Birthday. Pretty standard, right? Just getting my skeleton. My skeleton. Remember when reggaeton was popular? Skeleton. Rockata. Rockata. No? Alright. Cool. Alright, so I'm in my birthday, right? Great. What do I need to do right the now? I CD'd already. Good catch. Good catch. Rails what? Rails G. Okay, attaboy. Why resource? Huh? Because what? Because I won't let you use scaffold? Rails G resource, right? Just so you kind of hear it one more time. It's going to build that model. It's going to build the controller. It's going to build the migration. It's going to build the empty views folder. And it's going to put all 7 RESTful routes in resources under my config routes. Cool? And what is it again? We want kids. All right, kids is better than children, right? I feel like when you're like talking about kids, it's like, oh, they're just kids. But it's all like, hey, I'm going to come over and like hang out with my children. And you're like, right? Like Kids of the Corn just sounds like a teeny bopper band. But like Children of the Corn is like scary movie, right? Cool. So kids. What are some attributes for kids? Names. Let's leave gender alone. Age is an integer. How about president? Present?
Yeah, like a present.
Yeah, the present. Good.
Okay, cool. So what is present here?
Oh, like a gift.
Well, I understand what it is, but I meant like the attribute. It's a string? If they brought a present or not. So what is the other one? Party? Are we doing party?
Yeah.
Kids and party? Okay, sure. Present Boolean. I like saying Boolean. Like anyone who's like not a developer has no idea what that means. Right? I was like pizza shop and I'm like, yo man, listen. Some of those Booleans. Alright. Cool. Anything I'm missing or does this look okay? Sure. Dash no. Just for you. Dash no dash test dash framework. Is that it?
What about party ID?
What?
Party ID.
Do we want party ID in this? Does a party belong to the kid or does the kid belong to the party? How about we do this? How about we just leave that alone for 2 seconds and we'll see how we can kind of mess with the code based on what it generates for us. Cool? I like where your head's at. So a little bit of this action. Yep, there we go. Cool. And then what's the other one? Party and yeah. Fun. Friday. Fun. Boolean. What else is like a party have? Huh? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Theme. Themes. Huh? Right? So I'm gonna just put G bags because I'm lazy, and I'm gonna just put integer. Cool. Integer. Yeah, that looks all right. Yeah? Questions, comments, concerns? Awesome. Great. Now I'm going to a little bit of Atom action. So first things first. We want to take a look at this migration, right? Boom, boom. Did it migrate for us? No, it didn't, right? Which means that I still can, in fact, do something like t dot blah, 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 right? Whatever it is that I want. Knowing this information, right, let's establish a relationship between these kids and these parties, right? Here in the models, right? What's the relationship between this kid and this party? Kid belongs to a party?
Yeah.
Only in code, okay? Right? They probably have parties too, but we'll get to those relationships some other time. Cool? Party. And party what? As many kids, right? Cool. So if it's has many and belongs to, which one gets the foreign key? Right, because the belongs to has a foreign key. So is it here in kids or is it in parties? Cool. So t.integer. All right, look at this customization. And what is it? Party ID? Is that cool?
Why didn't you make a new migration?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
The reason I didn't make a new migration is because this didn't actually migrate yet. There's no schema file here. So I can, in fact, still update any of these things before the app even started, which is why I specifically noted your point, which is correct, that I should have some sort of party ID inside the kids migration. But what if you forget, right? Or you're like building out these things, you're resourcing, you're starting, and you have not yet migrated. You can still go in and like add it in yet because the migration hasn't occurred, right? If it does, you can always roll it back if you don't have like any seed data, if you're just kind of starting out. But if I had seed data and my app has like, a few days, hours, months, minutes under its belt, I should create a new migration to add the party ID column to this, right? Like mod 1 stuff, right? Active record, cool? Great. Now that I have this, what should I do now to get this schema? Yep. Cool. Like that was like a cool sneeze, right? It's like that dabs. No. Great. What else? What now? Set seed? Cool. What do we do to seed? This is what I like to do. I literally take this, right, and then I drop it right in here. I just copy and paste the schema so I know exactly what's up, right? I can just do like kid.new or create rather. And then I have all of these categories right before my very eyes. I have a name, and that is who wants to go to a party?
Roger.
We don't even have a Roger in this class, but cool. And how old is Roger?
22.
That's an old kid. That is an old kid. I set myself up for failure. Did this very young Roger bring a present?
No, it's a blue. Isn't oh, you put a blue in the books.
No, I mean, it'll work either way, but
True.
okay. I guess it's that kind of party. I don't even know what that means right now. I just kind of said that, right? So, party ID. All right, cool. What kind of one? Sure. All right, cool. So, that being said, should this come first? No, right? It should be what? It should be party. Party dot create. And what do we have here? Fun, 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 fun. Always true. Actually, I might change that later. What's the theme?
Garbage Pail Kids.
And the fun just went to false. Cool. Are there any goodie bags here? No. No. Actually, Garbage Pail Kids probably littered with them. Right? Probably just littered with Garbage Pail Kids. Cool. Boop, 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 boop. All right. We'll change this to true. Change this to true. And we only need like 3 at the moment, right? We have another theme here.
Yeah. Dinosaurs.
Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Classy. Oops. It's a very old game from like the 90s. Cool. What about what? Toga Party? I wonder who. Okay, cool. Are there a lot of bags in this thing? Yes. 5,000. That kind of party. You could say that about anything. That has no real value. All right, cool. Who else is going? Chef, it's ya boy, RD. Cool, right? Y'all like that one? Y'all like that one? He's old. It's that kind of party. You can just say that about anything. Wow, that's extremely useful. Cool, good to know. Anyone else want to go to a party? Sarah, you want to go to a party? That kind of party? Sure. Sarah's going. Cool. You can give a real or fake age, does not matter. That seemed real. Okay. Are you bringing a present?
No.
That kind of party. Which one would you like to go to? Huh?
I'll go to number 1.
Okay, cool. Just for fun, I'm going to change maybe this one to a different one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't want my code to break, so I'm going to get rid of this. And this is why lecture goes long. Cool. Rails DB seed, yeah? Cool. Have you seen this little trick yet? Like, you see how this seed just kind of ran real silently? It was just like, boom, done, seeded. But you have like no real way to verify what's up. So sometimes what I like to do is I do a little this, little P action, and just go making those parties. And then right at the end, I'll say something like partying done. Donezo, right? And then same thing here, right? I'm just like making kids. Oh God. Creating, seeding the database. All right, and done. Right, cool. Done. So here's the thing, right? What you can see now, and what we'll do is like we'll just reseed it. So now we'll have just like a ton, just like extra seed data. It's fine.
Can you go over destroy all? Because I think a lot of people have questions on seeding data, and typically you want to only seed once, but if you want to reseed, you should destroy all your whole data.
Absolutely, and I'm going to get to that. Destroy all is very important. Thank you, Jeff. Cool. So if I seed again, it will actually print those statements for me. The cool thing is if I type something bizarre, right, or I miss like a comma, if I reseed it, it will tell me exactly what breaks. So I can look to see here, and I'll like run into some weird error. Interesting. Cool. Actually, maybe just this. Did it not like that? Yeah, there we go. So what I did was I didn't have like a syntax error that broke, but there is no like AE field for kid, right? So I can see very clearly when I run dbseed, it's making those parties. Parties finished successfully. But when it says seeding the database, Rails aborts. Oh my God. Context clues. I will now prepare all CRUD apps beforehand. The point I'm trying to make is that Rails fails here and it breaks. So if you were to put these print statements in, you can kind of use your own little like error message handling when you do this seeding. Cool? That's like the point. The problem now is I ran this seed how many times? All right? If I were to go kid.all, I have way too many. I have a lot of these kids in my database. Cool? But the problem is like they're like repeats though. So I need to sanitize my database. Right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, this was tricky. This was tricky. Y'all got me good. Y'all got me good. Here's the thing. What I would really like to do if I'm trying to attempt to run these seed files, I can just delete everything in my database, and then I can see the data. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take this party class, and I want to do destroy all. Right? The point of this would be that when I run dbseeds, first thing it does, it takes all the party objects and it blasts them away. Same thing with this model. Right? Like how I dodged that one. And then it attempts to seed. So every time I run seed, it's only going to have these in it, no matter what. The one issue to this is that when I keep running these seeds, if I do not drop the database, do my IDs go back to 1 when I start over here? They do not. All right, so just be careful about how many times you run this. Even though you'll only ever have 3 objects in your database, you could potentially wind up with like, and we'll see it, probably like ID like 7 or 8. So let's take a look. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, clear it. If we run seed again, it just did it. We can check the console, and then we can check the kid.all. And it, oh, that's right. Yeah, because I hard-coded these IDs. Great, so we will do party.all.sample, right? A little sneaky action. Oh, sorry. Party.all.sample. It's going to pull one of them, and I just want the ID of it. Cool?
What was the error that you just got?
There was no real error, but I'm hard-coding these ID values.
Right.
And so because I'm hard-coding the ID values, it's not going to make the kid. But I should have all the parties, though. Because there's no real like relationship, dependency from party.
Can you run destroy all? It doesn't care that it's destroying something that's related on the warranty.
It will destroy everything over here.
But it doesn't like warn you that there's a relationship.
It does not warn you that there's a relationship. So if I have this particular party and I have this particular kid, right? And let's say this kid was associated with this party. If I delete the party, right? And the party ID is tied to this party, should I also delete kind of like this kid object? I probably should, right? And so there's a concept, and we'll go into the code in a little bit, where if there are any dependencies of this party or dependencies of this kid, if I delete that object, I should delete its dependencies. Something that relies on it. Cool? We'll go over it in a little bit more detail in a little bit, but very good point, yes.
If you are destroying and want to reset all your IDs, is there a better practice for dropping the table or just deleting the migration?
If you want to reset your IDs, you're only allowed really to just drop that database because there's no way to reset and go back to ID 1.
You don't just delete it, right?
Delete what?
The database, like the
Yeah, which would basically drop the database.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, either way. Cool? Cool. Great. Now let's... Any questions on this obnoxious seeding? And like the little like tips and tricks for seeding?
Every time we see we should do that sample. Just the idea.
You can. I like this because it's scalable, right? Like if you start hard coding IDs and then you have something like destroy all, you'll have to manually change the ID you're hard coding it to, which is kind of tricky. Cool. You do, however, run into the risk because it's sample, and that is like in theory, all 3 of these could be like tied to party 1. You just, it's a grab bag. Cool. Awesome. All right, let's actually get to some CRUD. Any questions on like this basic stuff? Let's CRUD it up. CRUD, CRUD, CRUD. Do you want to build the kids or the parties controller? Why parties and why not kids?
So you don't have to say those full
Hmm?
things. You don't have to say those full things.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you. I'm getting kind of crafty though, and it's a fun challenge. But why would I want to do this? Which one depends on what? Kid depends on party. So let's just think ahead a little bit, right? When I do my new for party, do I have to include the kid in here? No, right? So this one doesn't really have that dependency. So let's just build this up first, right? Def, and then we have a little bit of this action. Cool. This first one is show, little show action, little new, little create, oops, little edit, update, and delete, right? So the first thing is I'm going to get all the parties and party, and yeah. Cool. And then the response I'm going to send is just going to be that index. So first thing, in my parties, not my kids, I'm going to create the index. Great. Boom. Ready? Let's get wild. Ready? What does party look like? Great. Celebration. Wow, that was wild. What else party look like? Okay, gifts. All right, let's skip those other ones. can be kind of sketch. And then we're just going to iterate through each of these parties with a party object. And that is going to what? Probably party. And we have a what? A name? A theme. Almost got me. Cool. This right here. Ugh. 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 Boom. Yeah? Fix this in here. It is. It is. And just like that.
Is it matters or items?
Like what
Oh.
I think that's correct. Is there? It's Y-I-E-S?
It's IES, sometimes it's trash.
How would I figure that out? How would I know what Rails would try to do with it? How would I call that? What? Dot pluralize? Cool. All right. Are you all ready for that?
But it's stupid.
Yeah, cool. So you're saying I can do something like party and then call dot pluralize and it should give me something? Parties, okay, pretty normal, right? Pretty normal. What about human? Have you seen this before? Oh, okay, cool. That didn't have the effect I wanted to have.
Yeah, Mike didn't though.
That's a good one. All right. All right. Show's over. Show's over. Great. Cool. And that's really about it, right? So what about for show? What do we need to do for show? Right? What? Params ID. For right now, I'm just going to do find and not find by because I'm kind of lazy. But does anyone need me to go over the difference between find and find by? I think Laura went over pretty solid. Great. So in the new, what do I need in here? Right. So party equals to party.new. Cool. Is there anything else I need in here? Probably not. In here, I'm going to do at party equals to party.create with what? Those strong params, right? So I'm going to call them the party params, knowing full well that I will probably, and this is going to be end party class, party controller class, right? A little private action, cool. And then here I'm going to just define a method called party params, and it is going to do what? It's going to ask the params, it's going to require the nested params, which are going to be for party, right? Pretty standard. This is the convention we've been using, and I'm going to permit only the attributes for party, which I know is fun, theme, and good bags, right? I'm surprised I remembered two. Thank you. Cool. And then in this create, I'm probably going to redirect to the show page of add party. Same thing if I were to put party path and then pass it in the party object. Cool. Now with edit, same thing, right? At party equals to party.find. But I already know that what? This is kind of getting redundant here. I'm going to do this and this and this again. So I might as well just finish her up, right? Find party. You can call it whatever you want. I just happen to like calling it find. Boom. And then I'm just going to call find party. But I already know, guess what? I'm calling it several times. So before action, I think it's like this. Find party, comma, only in the, I need it in the what? I definitely need it in edit. I definitely want it in update. I want it in my delete. Is there anywhere else I want it? Great. So I don't need this really. Right after that, I'll have add party. I'll have access to it, right? And I can call update with the party params, the strong params that I just made, and then I'm going to redirect to the party to see the differences and the change that I made. I'm sorry, just kidding. Whoa, that was aggressive. I already have the party in here, thanks to this before action. Do I need anything else in my edit? No, right? Looks pretty good to me.
Oh, you don't need to type in party pronouns? Because of your before action? No, in the find edit, like,
Yeah.
you didn't, oh, because you did before actions. So
Yeah.
if you do before actions, you don't have to include
If I do before action, it will call the method that I tell it to, which is going to be find party, and it's going to call it before edit, update, delete, and show. So delete, because I already have it, I can always just do add party dot delete, and then I'm going to redirect to the parties path, right? Which is going to be the index. Because it's the index, I don't need to pass in the object. CRUD. Right? Any questions on this? Move kind of quick because everyone was like pretty tracking. Right? Do you want me to build like these views out for you? Who says build the views, Evans? Who says don't build the views? Okay? Maybe just one more time, right? Who says don't build the views? Okay, 4. And who says build the views? Okay, I'm going to do it just really fast. Just super fast. In parties, I already have index, right? That's just going to iterate through each of the parties and just give me this party name. I can probably, I wrote a lot of code. Let's test, right? It could go poorly. Localhost 9393. Remember those days? Long time ago. Great. Garbage Pail Kids, Cadillacs, and dinosaurs, and this toga party. That's not a great like look and feel to it. So let's drop a quick line break in here, and then let's take a look. Great. That line break probably should go here. Cool. So that being said, this I'm probably going to want to be able to click that directly and take me directly to that particular party. I can do a link to, right? And the first parameter for link to is what is going to display. The second parameter is the path that it's going to, and that is going to be, actually this should be party. Huh? It should be the show page, which is the party object. So let's take a look to see if that's correct. Cool. 13, 14, and 15 on the bottom, if you can see it. Ready? 13, 14, 15. Cool. Great. What else? I could probably do another link to something called edit the party. And where's that going to go? Edit party path. And that needs the party, right? Because remember, the edit is looking for that ID. If you ever forget, you can just go check out localhost 3000/Rails info routes, and you'll see edit party path as that helper. Cool. I also can do delete. All right? And where's it going to go? It's going to go to party path. All right? What am I missing from edit party path and party path? Well, actually, edit party path is a get. What am I missing from party path in order to hit this? All right? I need the HTTP verb, right? Which is going to be this method here. So I can pass it in another argument and tell it method, I think it's like this, delete. Let's find out. If I were to go back here, right, I now have edit party, which should take me to the edit page, but I don't have a template for it. I can also, which one is like the not cool one? Garbage Pail Kids? Yeah, that one's weird. Let's delete it and see what happens. What should happen? Who can explain to me what's happening when I click this link? Yeah?
Destroying the instance and then redirecting back to the next page.
Yep, absolutely. I just wanted to check to make sure that like it's hitting this delete. Whoa, what the? No, sorry. Cool. Bloop. Could not find action destroy in the party's controller. That is weird. I called it delete. Interesting. Destory. Great. Great. Boom. And let's get to these garbage pail kids.
You also have
Nil for nil class. Oh,
Party delete.
right. It's this right here. Destroy.
And is it also in the destroy method?
Oh yeah. Oh my lord. I just, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Cool. Oh, it's gone. Wow. Cool. Right? Let's just get rid of this toga one too. Yeah. No. Okay. Great. Sweet. Awesome. So let's build new. Parties. We have new.erb. Actually, we have to do show. Let's do show. And all it's going to be is an H1 that says, show me the party. Hey, where the party at? No? No? At party. And we're just going to like list out the things, right? Theme, a them, G-bags. And what was the last one? Oh, is it fun? Cool. Funsies, right? I would put labels for these, but I'm just trying to fly through it just so you can see it. Cool. If I click it, it's going to take me to the show page, and there it is. Yeah? Nice. So, let's go to new. Hey, limo. All right. The party at. What do I need for this? Right? Why form 4 and not the other form builders?
Form 4 is also when you hook up your credit.
Because?
It's following an instance and such new.
Well, I can recreate the same thing, right? But with the form 4, yes, sir, you already get the pre-built-in nested hash. It's better than building just like this form tag because I get that authenticity token built in as well, right? So I'm looking for this form 4. Cool. And the object here is going to be party. Any questions on why it's party? All right. So then we'll want a good user experience and we'll want to be able to submit it. All right. What is the field for the party? Theme. What else do we have? Fun and G-bags. I can remember G-bags, but not fun. My parties are weird. Cool. Little new action. Boom. Right. Cool. 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 So far, so good. Let's make this new party. Right. What's the first one? Theme, and that is
Kids toga.
what? Okay. G Pale Kids Toga, all in one. That's definitely fun. And the last one is G Bags, right? 1. Everyone gets 1. Great. That works. Okay, cool. Do. Parties controller. I also need to do edit, update, and destroy. So let's do here. So edit action. What did I say about this? Like new and edit?
Just make a partial.
Absolutely. Little render this form. I'm actually just going to now build form, underscore form. There we go. Quick again. As always.
Just testing them.
Testing me. Cool. And then in edit, I'm just going to put edit. You know the deal. You know the deal. It'd be like that sometimes. And now I'm just going to render the form. Yes, sir.
Just a brief explanation of what that is.
Okay, cool. So what I did was, in the new and the edit, they're the same form. So I extracted it into something known as a partial. And all I'm going to do is render that partial within the edit and the new so that it saves me some code. Cool. Let's test. Let's edit 16. GPL kids, and now you're allowed 2. There it is. Nice. Do I need to build this delete page? No, right? So is this done? Is full CRUD basically done? Right, cool. Now let's get to the hard part, and that is being a little dodgy with my words, right? Let's look at the kids controller. Actually, let's just do this. A bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of this. Bloop. Right? Kids controller. Bloop, bloop. Huh. Interesting. I can just little. Okay. So I highlighted the two that are pluralized. So I just put kids, the kids path, and at kids. And here's party. I can do Command D to select them, and this is just going to be kid. Kid.find, kid.new, kid.all, kid.create. Cool. And now I have this party params, and now it's going to be kid params. Oops, I missed one. Any questions? Oh, just kidding, at party. Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Kid.
You before actually.
There we go. Nothing gets by you. So, and CRUD is done.
And your inputs to your private, your strong groups.
Oh yeah, that's right. Smart, right? What was it for these kids?
Name.
Oh wow, I forgot already. Oh yeah, that's right. And,
Present.
oh yeah, present. Cool. Yes.
Is this our, like the join one? The join class, I mean, the place where they join those two places?
Well, you tell me. What do you think?
I think it is, but like for the join one, do we really need CRUD?
For the join one, do you need CRUD? Well, let me ask you, when would you build the join table?
After I built the regular class, like control classes.
Okay, sure. So here, the relationships between kid and party is a has many and a belongs to. This does not require a join table. You would require a join table if you have a many-to-many relationship,
Oh.
and then I would have some sort of kid party join table.
And
If
in that join table, do we need CRUD or we don't really need? Because I don't think we need to update any IDs or anything.
that's correct. Cool. Good question. So let's do this, right? So now I'm in the kids controller, right? And the hardest thing is going to be, so like index and show, right? Pretty similar to party, so I'm not going to build that. If you want, we could talk offline. The new is kind of where it gets tricky. So let's build this kids new, right? Let's take a look. Bloop, right? New form for kid object. What form do I want here? The form tag, the form for, the form with, the button to. Okay, cool. Form for. Oops. Cool. And what's the object? Right? So text field, right? We have name. What else do we have? And present. Anything else?
Would you change the age text field to a number field?
Anything for you. I'm here to serve. What else? Party ID. Which reminds me, in my kids controller, party ID. This will like break your code, right? So you got to make sure you're passing in all the params that you want. So, yes.
What is the autocomplete when you do full forward? What does that do?
What is?
Then what line that you deleted? When you
Oh, when I do this.
yeah. What's the
Okay, let's take a guess at what this does based on what we already know, right? Where have I seen render? When I, rendered a partial? So it looks like there's something called shared / errors, right? So in shared, right, when I see this slash, I can already see that it's some sort of subfolder, right? So in my views, there must be some folder called share, and it must be some file called errors. And I need to tell it what object for these errors. So naturally, I would have in my view some sort of shared folder, and in there I'd have something called errors.erb. Here, I'm going to be taking in the object. So notice how in my new for this form 4 kid, I could have done this. All right, like add kid. I also could have done this for my new and edit with party. Right? So it looks like this object that I'm passing in, I'm going to be using to interpolate inside errors to make it dynamic. Right? It doesn't matter where I'm pulling this in, as long as I pass it in the correct object, it's going to render the errors for this object. We will get to this tomorrow when I teach you more about Rails validations and error message handling. Cool? But did you see how you can already kind of figure out, based on what you know, like what this might do and kind of where it's going to be looking for something? Right? The important thing here in Flatiron School, again, is these concepts. Can I learn to read code? And can I, having never seen something before, figure it out? Because it would be insane to be like, I can teach you everything you need to know about code in 15 weeks. You'll never see anything new. That'd be insane, right? All we want to do is give you all the tools, right? The power drill, the hammer, the screwdriver, like everything, so that no matter what type of job it is, you're armed with the tools. Does that make sense? If I teach you just how to hammer one particular nail, you're like, all right, when you see this nail, always use this one hammer. So if you see a different type of nail, whatever that nail may be, are you just going to be like, oh, well, it's a different nail, I don't know what to do now? You're going to be like, yo, that looks like a nail. Now, I probably have some sort of tool for that, right? It's just kind of like just this concept of understanding the bigger picture. So, any questions on the conceptual understanding of what this does? Okay, cool, great. That was a really good question, by the way, right? Like if I'm just like wiping stuff off, you should be like, hey, what is that? Very fair. All right, cool. So, what problem am I gonna run into? This is probably a number or two, right? All right, what problem am I gonna run into when I see kids new? I should put these labels in, but it's fine. Do you guys want to see the labels, or you cool? Huh? Whatever makes me happy. It's so nice.
User experience.
Yeah, you gotta get this experience in, you know what I mean? Cool. Bam. 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 Oh. Oh. So this is age. This is present. And this is going to be party ID. Nice. Okay. And like that, I think I have to stringify this. Okay. Didn't like that either. Oh, it's the label. Smort. Okay. Didn't like that either. Interesting. Wait, what is this? Hip hop? That was weird. Cool. There's a way to do this. Oh, we'll figure it out later. Anyways, cool. You cool with the labels? All right. So what will happen if I'm like, hey, what's the name for this party? Batman? That's always a good one. Batman. Right? How old is Batman? Okay, I guess Mr. and Mrs. Wayne is still alive. What? No ooze? Usually I get like a ooh. I'm like, too soon? Like, it's a fictional character. You're bringing presents to this Batman party? Yes. Batman. All right, what party ID am I throwing this on? I don't know. 16, right? I think it was 17, 18, 19, something like that. Let's just put 17, see what happens. Cool. Oh man, I can't even submit it. My God. 1 star. Poor user experience. 1 star. Batman. 3. True. Oh wow, I didn't even spell that right. 18, sure. What am I gonna see in the params? What if I drop in the kids controller, right, on the create a by bug? I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this by bug that I just made, and then I'm gonna check my params, like the good person that I am. I'm gonna see my nested kid hash, and then I'm gonna see all the params that I want. Can I do kid.create with the params of, oh, just kidding, my strong params. I think I have it here. Let's do kid params. See what happens. Did not like that. What are kid params? Okay, let's do party. Actually, here, I'll give you a little sneak peek, right? I can put k equals to kid.create with these kid params, and I'm gonna see it failed. I can always check k, which is like this kid instance, and check to see what are the errors. Why did that rollback fail? It said party error blank. Okay, can I do party.find with 18? No, that's why. There's no party 18. Because like my database was bad, right? Remember I did all that seeding? And it's like kind of how those problems happen. So you should just drop that database and reseed it so that you like know what numbers you're kind of working with. Yes, sir.
Is this an example of why find by is preferable to find?
Absolutely. This would be a perfect example of why find by is mo better. Yeah? Because it breaks on find if it doesn't exist. So, all right, let's just do party.last. Great, 16. Cool. So I can just continue. I can always go back to this form. I can do 16 because I know it works. And I could check these grids. Check these params. Cool. And there it is. Good to go. Right? But as you know, even if you're the developer, this could be very painful. Right? This is not a good user experience about guessing which party it is. Who remembers what I did in Sinatra? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know it's in the past. Why am I digging it up? I'm just gonna tell you. I did something called, wouldn't it be nice if I had some sort of like select drop-down tag? And then I was like, oh look, W3 schools. And then I ripped our good Mercedes, Volvo, Audi, like HTML. Do you remember this now? I know, Sinatra was like that long ago. 4 days ago. Rails snobs. So, cool, I did this, right? Knowing how Rails works, right? Just that Rails does all these helper methods, you really shouldn't be mixing and matching too much with these form fors and then just putting in like a p tag, right? Something, and this is gonna break, right? You can like put divs in here to kind of style it, right? But you shouldn't really be putting too much like HTML within your forms. So that being said, it's probably not a good idea to put these like select tags in here and then these option tags just like embedded in here. Will this work though? Absolutely, it will totally work. The problem is like you can kind of like hack this a little bit and it can get hijacked. So if you really want to get into cybersecurity stuff, talk to me offline and I'll like show you some cool stuff. But for now, just know that Rails has like a helper for this exact thing, and that is called collection select Rails. Boom. All right, who's been to this API docs website? Nice, ran into problems already, good. All right, so between this and the Rails guides will answer about 90-something% of the questions that you'll have either trying to solve the labs or doing something in Rails. Cool. So here I have collection select, and you're starting to see things that you don't really fully understand. So I'm going to try my best to like explain what each one of these things do and how to read through these Rails API docs, just so you have a better understanding of like how am I going to interpolate and like read and understand what's going on. Cool? Does that make sense? Is that fair? Or would you rather see me kind of like break it and make it work? Who wants to like a breakdown of the docs? Who wants a breakdown of like just making this work? Okay, sure. We have the time, so I think it's worth explaining the docs a little bit, and then I'll break it. And I'll spend a little bit more time breaking it, because that's like where it's at. So, collection select. It looks like it's just this method, right? You see like these wow, I keep calling them bananas, but what, parentheses. Whoa, I'm trash developer. It takes in an object, right? Which we probably already know is probably going to be like what? Like @kid, right? Or like @party, like the object that we already know. It's going to take some sort of method, which is weird because I don't really know what method means right now. It takes a collection, right? Who knows what a collection is right now? Bunch of liars. Let's take a look. Take a look. Can I do party.first? Can I do party? Oh man. Party. Okay. Party.last. Whatever. .kids. Is this a array or is this some sort of collection proxy? One more time. What is this? Is this a regular array? No, it's a collection proxy, right? And I know I could prove this because if I wanted to, I could check the class. It's a collection proxy. So you already know what collections are, right? Cool? So, questions on that? Right. So if I did party.all, what kind of object will this return me? Is it an array? It is a relation, but this is like a collection though, right? So anything that's coming back from active record that looks like an array is an active record collection object. So I've already got at least 1 and 2 so far. Value method, that's a little bit weird. I don't really understand what that means right now. Text method, okay, I'm starting to get lost here. Options is equal to an empty hash. HTML options equals to an empty hash. If you see something like this where it says equals empty hash, do you remember in mod 1 when you did define initialize? I know we haven't written that so long, right? And then you passed in this equals. What does that mean? You can do like a math assignment, yes, but specifically as I'm doing, this collection select is a method that takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arguments, right? That's a lot of arguments. 3 or 4 of which I'm like, I don't really understand right now. Just a bit daunting, and I understand that. If I do this equals, I'm setting a default value for it, which is empty hash, right? So that being said, if I'm setting a default value, do I have to pass in something for these two? No, right? So that means that I probably only really need these first 5. Does order matter here? Absolutely. Order will definitely matter, right? So let's try to figure out what these things are. Cool. So I can do something like, can I just do collection select here? I probably could, because this is just a regular method, but I know I have this f block. This f block is a form builder that I can drop on top of collection select. And with that, I already know the first parameter is going to be @kid, because this f block is a do for kid. So I don't have to pass in the first thing, which would normally be @kid, because the f.collection select is inside the form for. The f tells me already what the object is. So I don't need @kid here. Yes?
Is it collection select or collection?
I'm sorry, it is collection select. Good call. Did that confuse anyone else? If you see something like that, just like yell at me, right? I mean, don't be scared. I make typos all the time. I don't know if you've noticed, right? Does anyone want a break? Does need like a 2-minute breather before we like dive into collection select? All right, if there's no response in this next question, I'm just gonna give you a break. Does everyone, raise your hand if you do not want a break. Okay, great. All right, so I'll keep going. All right.
Can we keep the ad
You can't because order matters. If it's already receiving the @kid object and I keep it in there, it's gonna think @kid's automatically the second argument. All right, that's a very good, very fair question. So what is the next one? Well, I like to just do this, right? I'm like, great, if I'm gonna start like modeling my code after something, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, dang, that was embarrassing. So I know collection select, cool. I already got rid of object because it's pulling in kid. This next one is method. What could method possibly mean? Well, luckily for you, I've already kind of, oh no, not dancer. I did this already, and I wrote like a really good guide. I'll find it. Ready? I'll find it for you. Boop, 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 boop. 0917. 21? Yeah. I wrote this like dank guide on collection select, and I don't want to do it again. Here we go. Cool. So here's collection select in all its glory. The first argument we want to call, right, is the object @song. The next thing is something called method. All right, what would method be? It looks like if I can just go try to look through the docs, right, collection select. What is post? Post is kid for us right now, right, @kid. So I'm not putting that in. The next thing is something called author ID. Well, if I look very closely to this has many belongs to relationship, and I'll try to zoom in a little bit, soft zoom, right? Author ID, right? Why would I have author ID? What's the relationship between post and author? Well, post belongs to author, right? I'm doing the same thing for kid and parties. So that must mean that I need what in this? Party ID, right? It's kind of like the next logical leap that I was able to determine from the documentation. What's the next one? Author.all, right? That's the collection. So here, the collection is probably going to be what? Party.all, right? We'll refactor it in a little bit. So that's the method, and that's the collection. Interesting. What about value method, right? What is the value that we want to come across in our params? What are we using here when we actually save it? Remember, if you look back on my form, right, what value are we using that comes across in the params? The party ID, right? So I would just say that it's the ID. That's all this one is, right? I'm just calling .id on this object. And what's next? What's the last thing? Oops. What's the last thing? Something called text method, right? Text method, just probably I can infer is like, what is the text that's going to show? So what do I have here? I have something called name, right? What? Oh, theme. Sorry, you're right. Theme. Cool. So here, we can just try again. Ah, I'm in the binding, right? Oh, yeah, I'm in the bug. Cool. So now we have this collection select. Right? So far it works, but I want to see what the params actually come through as, and then let's like play around and break it a little bit, if we can. Right? So here's the name, kind of irrelevant, a little bit relevant. I'm testing, oh, that's gonna break. All right, it had to give me a Boolean. What is this? Oh, the number field. Throwing it in twice. Embarrassing. I got rid of it. Cool? Because I no longer need this number field because it was such a bad user experience. So, and true, right? Great. So Cadillacs and dinosaurs, if I create kid, I still have that by bug there. Let's see what comes across. Boop, 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 boop. I have kid, something great, present, and look, party ID 14. Cool. Huh? Well, the theme is what actually like what the name dropped down as, right? And then if we take a look at the code, let's take a look at this. Look up, look up. Oops. Great. So where did this party ID come from? This first thing, this like little method, right? This thing right here just means that this is the key that's going to come across. And then party.all is the collection that I want to iterate through, right? Which is all the parties in this case. I want the ID as the value that comes through, and the name in each one of these drop downs, right? Like what displays is what is called on that party. Yes?
For ID and theme, why don't you keep party.id or
Say again?
the last two elements?
Yeah.
For ID and theme, why don't you need party.id or party.theme and you just pass it like that?
Okay, because there's an association here, all right? On kid, the first thing I'm calling on kid is party ID, right? So I know that I'm associating this kid with some sort of party. The next thing is I'm going to go through all the parties because that's what I want to iterate through, right, to show on my collection. But remember, when you do party.all, if you display this in the browser, what actually comes up? Each one of the objects. So you just see this like hashtag, right? But that's not a good user experience. Each one of these parties has a theme. So on the theme is the actual thing I want to show in the dropdown. And then the ID is the value that I want to come across in my params. So let's try it with some really wacky stuff to see what kind of like things come through, right? Here I can't really do much, right? Party ID is kind of the associated object, right? At party.all, what else do I have? I probably could do, if I wanted to, kid.all, which is like really weird. But again, I want to break it to see what's going on. If I just hit save, it's going to try to call theme on each one of these kids to fill into that dropdown. So it should, in fact, break. Okay, let's do kids.new. Right? It's going to say, undefined method theme for kid object. Do you see that? And so what do we actually have, though, for kid? Name. What else do we have for kid? Age. So if I put age in here, it's going to call age on each of these kid objects. That's what's going to show up on the dropdown. So let's play with it. And that's exactly what's going to show. Oh, yeah, this one's ridiculous, right? That's not the best user experience. I want the name to come up for each of these kids. So refresh, and now I have the name. It's your boy Art. That one's for me. Cool. What else? What else do we have for each of these kids? Oh, all right, you're right. Man, Rails is helpful. Did you mean present? I sure did. And now that's what's coming up. Does everyone see that? Cool. So again, this one here is for what I'm trying to iterate through, right? So if you will look closely, the collection the second argument is going to be the collection we want to use to populate. So here we're doing something called party.all. But what does this look like to you in terms of MVC? The model. The model is being accessed directly by the view. Is that what we've been taught, and is that like good practice? No, right? The controller should be handling that. So how can I make the controller handle that action? Well, this is the new for kids. So naturally, I can go to my kids controller. In new, I can also do something like parties equals party.all. So now when I go back to my new for kids, I can just access this parties and just put it right here at parties. Because I'm a full stack developer, I have access to the front and the back end, and I can control that flow of data. The power is yours. Cool? And then what is ID here? Right? ID is being called on each one of these as what the value is going to come across. So what do we have for party? Besides this, we have something called theme. So let's see what happens. Okay. Undefined method present for, oh. Sorry. Wait, that should be fine. Oh, is present not, oh, sorry, it's theme, right? That's what we wanted. Theme. Well, let's just put theme and see what comes up, right? Cool. Everything looks totally normal. So if I do something else, right? 1, false, actually, let's mix it up. And I do Garbage Pail Kids and Toga. What a great party. Someone invited me to that, I'd be like, there. Params. I have what? I have party ID pointing to something called G Pale Kids Toga. Is that what party ID should be pointing to? No. Where did I get G Pale Kids Toga from? When I did theme here, right, it changed what party ID is going to point to. So party ID is the key. This third argument is going to be the value that comes across. So let's test one more, right? What else do we have for parties? But that's also a number, right? Fun. Cool, right? Great. So again, if I refresh, and I need to get out of the buy bug. Fun. Age is fun, 9. That's a fun age, I don't know. Present, false. And if I picked, I don't know, let's go with Toga. Okay, cool. Great kid. If I were to check out my params, I can see party ID now pulling the Boolean that I passed in this third object. So really, I know now it's the ID. All right? So if I were to see all of it, the first argument is what we want to call on the kid here, right? Which is the party ID. The key that's going to come through my params. The second thing is the collection that we want to go through, which is right now parties.all, or I've refactored it to parties, which is a reference from the controller that actually is just party.all. The value we want in the params is going to be what? That party's ID. Right? So this third one here. And then what do we want to display in the tag itself? We have party with a theme attribute. Cool? Any questions on this f.collection select? Yeah?
This is a follow-up to Yuki's question. Still not understanding how this knows that ID is for the party ID's value versus the kid.
Okay. Fair question, right? When I do this form for, everything inside here is going to be for this kid object, right? So in theory, if I did not have f.collection select, the first argument is going to be this @kid object, right? I think it's like a symbol @kid. I don't know if that actually worked. Maybe just kid. I didn't like that at all. Probably @kid. I have to pass in like this kid object. But because I'm doing the f block, I don't need to pass in the first object that this collection select will be in reference to. The second thing is, this kid has what type of association with it? I want to build the association for party, right? Inside kid, I have to access the party's ID for that, because this is the key that's coming across as the params. Here is all the parties that I want to go through. I want each of those IDs to come across, and then what actually displays on the page. Does that help at all?
So I'm saying, for the fourth element written, the :ID,
Yeah.
does that know about the element next to it? Like, does it know, like, hey, we want the party?
Yes. So at parties, right, is a collection of parties. So for the first party, I'm going to be building the following, right? I want the ID to come across as the value, so party.id. And what do I want displayed here? I want party.theme. And that's what these two are doing inside this options menu in the select dropdown. I probably should have done this. It's a lot more visual. All right, thanks for like drawing this out for me. Yeah, this probably helps some people, not just you. I think this is really good. Does that make more sense?
You probably just use like the kid is on the left, which is one object, and then you have like another method or like object on the right.
Right.
And that stuff is associated with it. So like parties has the ID's theme, then kid has the party ID.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to write some more stuff. Wow, my thing froze. That's weird. So remember like this? I'm sorry, not this. We had select here. Right, and then we had this. What do I want here as the name? We want something like @kid.partyid to come across. I'm sorry, not @kid. We want party ID to come across as the key for the select. Right here. What am I iterating through? Sorry, my computer's frozen, so I'm just gonna like. Yeah, I know. It's cool, right? Select party ID is coming from here. How many options do I want? I want, I think there's 3, right? Yeah. I want X number, right? These are the each do's right here. The ID is coming in as the value, because that's how I'm going to save it in the database. And then theme is like what actually gets displayed. All right? I'm calling .id for the party to interpolate here, .theme on the party to come here. So I'm going to have option based on this number. That's what this like f.collection select builder is doing. Are there any questions on that? This is like the only real new material from this lesson. And then also I'm like hammering more REST and CRUD. Cool? Any questions on f.collection select and how you can use it to build your nested forms? Awesome. That's all I got for you today. Appreciate your time.